Did you know that almost every location in Zombies is based on a real-life location, sometimes multiple? Today, with the help of this globe, we are going to explore every Zombies location in real life that we know about. By the way, a link is in the description if you want to check out this globe yourself. Let's begin. We're gonna start with an easy one, Mob of the Dead and Blood of the Dead. They're of course based on Alcatraz Island and its cell block. What you might not know is just how accurate it is. They nailed everything from the layout of the map to even the acid trap in the cafeteria, which is, believe it or not, real. Then if we take a trip up north to Transit, you'll learn Transit is based on the government project at the Hanford site in eastern Washington, known as Green Run, where the government produced plutonium. This map also references the HARP research facility, where conspiracy theorists claim that they were doing all sorts of experiments, including weather control, which is probably where the Avogadro comes from. Buried is of course set in an American western town that was moved to Angola, Africa, but it's actually based on and inspired by the Calico ghost town in the Mojave Desert. Treyarch actually went there while designing Buried to make sure the map was photo accurate to the real ghost town. In this town you'll find everything from the candy shop to the jail cells to the mines, which are all real. If you continue into the Mojave Desert, you'll eventually reach the Nevada National Security Site, which is home to the real-life Nuketown and Alpha Omega. Here the government detonated over 1,000 nuclear explosions and built real-life nuke towns like the ones we see in-game. None exists today for obvious reasons, but the crater left is awfully reminiscent of the Nuketown loading screen. Coming back to Buried, another real-life secret location of Buried is actually the Hedge Maze. What people don't know is that this hedge maze is based on a maze in the St. Louis Botanical Gardens, and in-game is an exact recreation. Staying in St. Louis, you'll also find Moon's Biodome is just a short walk from the maze. The Climatron, according to former Zombies director Jimmy Zielinski, is the real-life inspiration to the Biodome. So Moon isn't on Moon, it's in St. Louis. Kinder der Toten might be the most iconic map in Zombies. In-game, it's set in Berlin, but in reality is based on a theater in Chicago. It's now abandoned, but urban explorers have found that the lobby and theater room are an almost exact match to Kinder der Toten. As we cross the ocean, you'll find Voyage of Despair at the bottom of it. This map is of course set on the Titanic, and all I really want to do here is just applaud Treyarch for their attention to detail. You could make the argument, minus the zombies, it's one of the most accurate 3D models of the Titanic ever made. By the way, I just want to mention that creating this globe that you're seeing was a crap ton of work. So if you want to help support the channel, check out my merch, a link is in the description. There you can find all sorts of great merch like the Perkaholics Anonymous sweatshirt and my Pack-a-Punch hat. All of this helps support my channel and keep it afloat, and it's greatly appreciated. Let's now move on to Europe. At the start of Origins, we see that it's set in Bar-le-Duc, France. This is because the battle we see in-game is inspired by the Battle of Verdun, one of the longest and bloodiest battles of World War I. Going there today, there aren't any giant robots, but the trenches our heroes battled through are still there today. Going south to Austria, we find DE. DE is based on the Hohenwerfen Castle near Salzburg, Austria. Visiting the castle, you'll feel like you're in DE. Everything from the clock tower to the gondola you take up to the castle to the courtyard where we feed the dragons are real. Moving west to Gorod Krovi, GK is set during the Battle of Stalingrad, which is today the city of Volgograd. Not much of it is based on real life, however the fountain where the children are is a real and iconic symbol of the Battle of Stalingrad. It's known as the Barmale Fountain. Staying in the former Soviet Union, we can go to what is today Kazakhstan to find Ascension. Ascension was based on the Bakhmur Cosmodrome, a now abandoned Russian cosmodrome. Also, the mural we find by PhD is real and can be found in Moscow as the Monument to the Conquerors of Space. While in Russia, I also want to give a shout out to Tanguska. This is the site of the Tanguska event where a 12 megaton explosion was created by a meteor. First referenced in Shinonuma and later the BO1 terminals, this is believed to be one of the original sources of Element 115. Let's now head to Poland where we find D Machina. D Machina gives its exact coordinates and places us in the Morasko Meteorite Nature Reserve. Treyarch never really touched on this in-game, but perhaps the meteors were the original reason they set up a research facility there. While in Poland, we have to go to Dariz. In-game, we're told it's in Breslau, Germany, but today it's in Poland within the Owl Mountains. Dariz was inspired by Project Riza, where the Nazis built a number of strange underground facilities. Today, you can actually explore some of these tunnels yourself and see the fly trap for yourself. Let's now head to Berlin, where Kino der Toten is set. In Kino, you'll find the Fernsehturm, also known as the TV Tower. Besides the wall, that's all there really is for Kino IRL. There is no abandoned theater in the middle of Berlin that Kino is based on. A better map to explore in Berlin is actually Mauer der Toten. The map is set in Berlin along the Berlin Wall and Checkpoint Charlie. What I love about Mauer is its use of ghost stations like Weinmeisterstraße, which you can visit yourself. This was once an abandoned subway station that the Soviet East Germans feared would be used to escape East Berlin, which is exactly what we do in-game. Also in Berlin is Verrückt. At the start of every game, we're told we're at the Wittenau Sanatorium. The Wittenau Sanatorium is a reference to the Karl Bonhoeffer Nerven Clinic, where the Nazis did a number of inhumane experiments on their patients. The insides aren't exactly demonic like zombies, but the burnt orange exterior certainly matches Verrückt. To show some love to World War II zombies, the Darkest Shore is set on Helgoland, a small island about 2 hours off the coast of Hamburg. Not much from real life is there in-game, although the Mars red cliffs we see our characters jump from is an exact match to the real-life cliffs. Our last stop in Europe takes us to Ancient Evil. Set in Delphi, Greece, Treyarch actually recreated what we believe to be the exact layout of Delphi during ancient times. It's obviously impossible to be exact, but it does give us a glimpse into what Delphi may have actually looked like in its heyday. To end the video, we're going to travel over to Asia. We'll start at the island of Pompeii in the Pacific Ocean. This is the real-life location of Zetsubou No Shima. Treyarch really dug into the lore here because everything from the dragons to the giant monsters we see lurking in the background are based on legends from this very island. Next, we'll move on to Firebase Z. The design was inspired by the Firebase Bastion, which was one of the many temporary military encampments built by the United States during the Vietnam War. In the Cold War zombie storyline, Firebase Z is one of those firebases. Finally, we've saved the greatest map of all time for last. Dariz is set in Shanghai, China. The Shanghai skyline in-game is much different than the real one, although the Jinmao Tower is off in the distance, which lets us know we're in Shanghai. That, ladies and gentlemen, is every zombies location we know about that exists in some shape or form in real life. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to support my channel by picking up some merch. Have a wonderful day, and bye.